The year is 2020. As the old financial empires collapsed and crypto drowned in noise and false prophets, one man lost everything. And in that loss, he was called. Through the wreckage of his own failure and the precision of his charts, a higher force revealed what others could not see and entrusted him with a mission to guide others through the chaos he barely survived. They call him Sacred Prophet. And now, the revelation is yours to claim.
Welcome, everyone, to Sunday Fuel for November 23rd, 2025. I am your meek and humble host, Sacred Prophet, joined as always by my plucky sidekick and Aaron in training, Peter Bad Guru Hartman. Say hi to everyone, Peter.
Hi to everyone, Peter.
Say hi to
everyone! That's right. You in a good mood?
I'm in a pretty good mood. Well, markets are sus right now. So I'm in a pretty good mood because it's interesting. I like when interesting things are happening, and this is great. Everyone thought, hey, we're just going to sit around. We're going to have, in crypto, we're going to have just a market cycle like normal.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our indicators. We know when the top's going to be, have an idea where the top's going to be. We're going to sell the top. We're going to write, all the other idiots will sit there while it drops, 80%. Then we'll get back into the bottom and repeat. Totally understand that. That was a goal. That was a plan. Bitcoin is now down. What is it? Bitcoin's down what? Peak to trough? 30%. It went as low as 36% or something like that. 30% Bitcoin. And so people are like, hey, what's going on over here? Especially since it fell below our yearly average here. And that's usually nail-biting time. Nail-biting time. But this whole market, if you've not noticed, has been weird since the bull market began, right? In the fall of 2023, both the stock market and the crypto market started a bull run. But the bull run has been this weird, slow, grindy thing, right? It's just been this slow, grindy thing upwards, not the crazy parabolic moves we're used to from before times. Same thing with the S&P and the NASDAQ. We've had just this grind upwards. Do you know why that is, Peter? Do you know why the equity market grinds upwards slowly like that?
Because
options, that's right. Right? The options market.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people are aware of this. Or what's Raoul Powell's favorite line? Most people don't know. Most people don't have any idea about this. But the options market is so much bigger than the equity market.
How much bigger?
I think it's like 40 times bigger, something like that.
What?
I might be pulling that out of my ass or something like that. Some huge amount, notional amount, right? So even though it is, the contracts are cost less, every options contract counts for about 100 times more shares. So if you buy one options contract, one call, let's say on the SPY, it controls 100 shares, but you're paying a fraction of the cost. And so less money then goes in the stock market can go into the options market, but can control an order of magnitude, 2 orders of magnitude more of the underlying contract. Does that make sense? My options contract is forcing someone else to buy or sell that asset,
right.
100 shares of that asset, in theory, depending on if that option goes into the money. All right, why does that matter? It matters, and I've been talking about this. It feels like I've been talking about it for weeks now, droning on and on about it. Did a whole series last week called Negative Gamma Spirit Bomb. Negative Gamma Spirit Bomb, Dragon Ball reference. If you don't get that, get out of here. Negative gamma exists within options that basically forces the people who sell the options, the market makers, the dealers, the people who sell those options, they have to hedge their positions. They have to hedge their positions by If you're in a positive gamma regime, they do the opposite of what the option does. So if you're betting that the market's going to go up in a positive gamma regime, they have to sell that asset. And in a negative gamma regime, if the betting the market's going to go up, they have to buy that asset for a number of different reasons.
And
So the
negative
market
gamma
drifts.
is not
Yeah, go
something
ahead.
that negative gamma is not like something that you invented, right?
No, not at all. Gamma is one of the Greeks for options, and it refers to the rate of change of the delta of an option based on a $1 movement of the underlying, which I'm sure means nothing to you, Peter. So let me put it in Eli 5 terms. When stock goes up, option goes up more.
You should have just said that.
Stock goes option goes down more.
Just lead with
right?
that next time. Why do you have to like pretend and put on airs like you're so special and smart? Just say that.
Well, what I have to do is what I do in order to dumb it down and to act dumber for you is that inside my mouth, I like bite my cheek really hard in order to get into my lower brain. And then blood pools at the back of my throat as I swallow it. It's a practice behavior that I've had ever since I've known you. And then for a brief moment, I could speak in the way that you might be able to understand.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hope that makes sense, Peter.
It makes a lot of sense. I thank you for your pain.
So markets drift upwards because in general, unless there's a catalyst, there's no reason for the market to fall. And you might be like, well, why doesn't it stay flat? Well, it doesn't stay flat because the dollar is being printed, quote unquote, debased. And so the dollars are worth less and less. And so nominally the assets go up in value. They go up in value dollar terms, right? Even though your purchasing power is not the same. So you have this drift upwards in the price. And the drift upwards naturally lends itself to calls because you're like, well, if there's just drift upwards, let me just buy calls and those calls will just keep printing money.
That's right.
Or let me sell puts. And then those puts, I'll be able to monetize those puts because those puts will expire worthless. So if I sell them to somebody else, they expire worthless. I don't have to pay out. I just get to collect that premium. It's just that drift upwards. Now things go awry when you have sudden drops that you're not prepared for. These sudden drops, though, in the same way that the stock market, the upward move gets exacerbated because of the options. Once the market starts going down, it gets exacerbated the other side, right? So two strange things happened, right? So in general, we know for Bitcoin, what we've been seeing is that Bitcoin has been falling. And now you might ask yourself, okay, Bitcoin's been going down. Bitcoin fell dramatically from the highs of October 9th down to now. And you're asking yourself, I don't understand. Trump came in with a mandate in order to buy Bitcoin, Solana, Cardano, all that stuff, crypto strategic reserve, Bitcoin strategic reserve. Resolve the regulatory kerfuffle with Gary Gensler. He's out, new guy in. Everyone's pro crypto. You have BlackRock pro crypto. You have major famous traders that are pro Bitcoin. Everyone's turning pro Bitcoin. Michael Saylor's buying more Bitcoin through strategy. What's going on? Why is Bitcoin then falling? And so dramatically. Well, there seems to be some sort of shenanigans behind the scenes. We don't know. It's not transparent. It's opaque. We don't know what's happening. All we know is that there's like these forced liquidations that are happening. There are barely any levered longs anyway, and yet Bitcoin keeps falling still. There's no big blow-ups. There's no FTX. There's no Celsius. There's no Luna. There's no 3AC. Maybe that's going to come, but we haven't seen anything like that. What's causing it to fall? We don't know. The options market in the Bitcoin space isn't even that big. What's going on? You hear rumors, right? We talked about it on After Hours on Friday from, we showed a clip from Tom Lee from Fundstrat, who was saying it looks like there might be some shenanigans going on with the exchanges where the stable coins are sort of depegging and causing a bunch of positions to be liquidated. But we don't know. We don't know which exchanges. We're not seeing any reports of it. We don't know what's going on. I can't even show you anything about it. We're still seeing that there's more levered shorts than there are longs. What is happening?
Why would the CIA give us Bitcoin? And then why would the CIA take Bitcoin away from us?
Yeah, so I think there's a chance that a foreign nation, some external factor, is shorting Bitcoin, causing liquidations of Bitcoin, causing the price of Bitcoin to fall.
Is this similar to the country's de-dollarizing?
No, it's more of an economic warfare.
You think it's aggressive?
Yes, I think it's to. You can imagine as people are pouring their money into it. If Americans are pouring their money into the system, and the government is pouring their efforts and policy into it, if that starts falling, well, then the wealth of the nation falls.
So the more Donald Trump and the administration is pro crypto, pro Bitcoin, the more it incentivizes the adversaries to short it.
Correct.
Oh,
Or to cause
boy.
it to cause liquidations. Yeah.
Or to cause liquidations. Okay, that's not good.
Most of the downward pressure of Bitcoin, it's not coming holistically across all exchanges. It's coming mainly from Binance, from what we've seen.
Finance.
So it's not like this general everyone's selling thing. So it's a weird scenario.
I mean, I can wrap my mind around everyone selling. Like, I get that. We've been through that. Economic warfare via crypto.
I don't think it's only crypto. I think it's the stock market writ large. So last week we had NVIDIA earnings. NVIDIA is about 7% of the S&P, and so it's a huge percentage. If that was going to go down, we were going to have a major downward catalyst for assets. So NVIDIA earnings came out, and with the stock market that dropped something like from peak to trough, dropped 8% on the NASDAQ, what would you guess? Would you guess the earnings for NVIDIA beat or missed?
Well, I mean, I guess they missed.
I would guess that too. Nope, they beat. Not only did they beat, they made like $55 billion. And so you would have expected that the stock market would rise up, right? That did not happen. This is the day here that the NVIDIA did the earnings. So NVIDIA earnings came out over here, and you would have expected that with such a great number that the stock market would have been back at all-time highs. Why? Not just because of the movement in NVIDIA, but because of the calls, the options would go up in value. The market makers would need to chase, and it would chase the price back up, right? We've seen this sort of thing happen again and again and again. We've seen this over here. We saw that back in tariff land in the spring. You remember here when, here's another example here in August when the stock market dropped and then it rallied back up violently just over a couple of days. And then back in, I believe it was March, we had this drop off because of tariffs and then massive run up. Like this sort of move is what we would be expecting. These sorts of moves are what we're expecting back up. We didn't get it. In fact, we got the opposite. We got the stock market falling. All right, it fell. It went up to over here and fell. It fell another, what was it, 3%? 5% in basically a day. It fell. That's a lot, right? It takes something like $50 billion to move the stock market 2%, if I'm not mistaken. It might even be 1%. So that's a massive drop. All right. Not going to go into all the details of that there. You can go watch it on After Hours and on Daily Bread on Thursday night when this happened. On the Sacred Profit channel, you go check that out. And then also I talked about on the After Hours on the Traders Post channel on Friday. But essentially, negative gamma came into play, where put options became more valuable. Market makers had to chase because they were a negative gamma regime, and it fell. And that's in the midst of this downward draft we've been having since October 29th, right? In the NASDAQ. Now, if we switch to the dollar, that's also weird. Right when the Fed said, hey, we're going to start cutting rates, that's right over here. the dollar has just been going up and to the right. Right when the Fed said we're going to start cutting, we're going to start easing, we're going to reduce quantitative tightening starting December 1st, they're forward guiding that they're going to be adding liquidity into the system starts tightening, starts going up. The dollar starts getting bid. We also have the bonds, short-dated bonds that started falling. In fact, all the bonds have been falling across all the different tenors, right? Even with inflation being what it is, bonds are falling. So it's like weird. What is going on? You'd expect the opposite. You'd expect the dollar to fall if they're saying they're going to be cutting rates. They're going to be adding liquidity, right?
Mhm.
Sell the dollar, buy assets. The opposite is happening. So that's strange. We don't know why it's happening. And the strangest thing is there's no catalyst. There's no big blow up anywhere. There's no housing crisis that we're aware of. There's no nothing. So it seems like something is happening behind the scenes across all these major assets that's causing this downward pressure that we just don't know what's going on.
Well, what I do know is that we've got Aventura Trader in the house. What's up, friends? Great to
Baby.
see you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. We also got Alfred Dog. Hello, fam. Well, hello to you, sir. Hello. Well, welcome to
Nice
the
to have
chat.
you here.
Tom, what you're describing is Squid Game level activity. You know, you're like, I thought I was in an alliance. I'm getting betrayed. I'm a little bit worried here. Now, does this mean that we have an opportunity to make money? Make, or no?
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. All right.
Mhm.
So I've been saying for quite a while now that I think everyone's going to have to become a trader to some degree, either automated trading systems or multiple different as a stream of revenue, because we're now back in a trader's market, right? Whether you're trading options, where you trade the futures, crypto futures, you're now rewarded from paying attention, being there in the right moment, as opposed to buying and holding, right? The whole idea of buying, if this was your first Bitcoin cycle, right? And you heard in the last cycle, people made money hand over fist. They threw money, dart at the wall, spaghetti at the wall. Something stuck. Elon token took off over there. Shiba Inu, everything was just popping off. NFTs, you could just buy anything. You could buy a pixel. What was it? The pixel dick butt. What are those dick butt
I don't know.
NFTs?
What?
Or yeah.
Board ape.
Let me show you so you know that I'm not there's Board 8. These NFTs, so you know I'm not crazy.
Wait, I'm not thinking that you're making this up. I just, if there's anybody who knows about dick butt, I'm pretty sure it's going to be you.
Wait, dick butt NFT.
Oh wait, watch out! Are we on X? I can't show this on X if you're going to be typing in dick butt. Are you kidding
No,
me?
it's fine.
Do you know what you can find on X?
These. So it's these little pixels here,
What?
and they're images with like dicks for butts.
Is that an actual dick?
Yeah, this one sold for $52,000.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You mean I could
Right.
have gotten that for 52,000? That's it only?
A steal, 1 for 1. All right. So if that's what you heard in the last cycle, right? You're like all excited this cycle. I'm gonna get my altcoins. I'm gonna get my meme stuff. And no,
I'm glad that's dead. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Kill it.
Only Bitcoin. The previous cycle, you're like, I just have to pick the right layer one. Right. It didn't matter which layer one you picked. Some up more than others. You could have picked Ethereum. You could have picked Cardano. Polkadot, AVAX, whatever. Moving up, you had social tokens like Rally. Right, you had gaming tokens like, can't remember off the top of my head the names of these tokens that were so big at the time, not big anymore. Gone, nothing, right? But all the previous rallies, you're like, oh my god, it's going to be amazing. We're going to make so much money. Oh my god, it's going to be a beautiful season. Banana Zone, this Banana Zone, gold outperformed, right? So you're like, I don't understand. This crypto thing doesn't seem like pretty exciting big anymore. It's like the volatility is gone. Where's all the excitement? It's gone. And so you're like, okay, well, if that's going to be the case, I can't imagine the down's going to be that big because it wasn't really a big up. No, it's one of the biggest drops we've seen in Bitcoin, the speed and magnitude of it that we've seen in a while. We haven't seen anything like this in quite a while. For no reason, Bitcoin's fallen.
Well,
for no reason, the market's crazy volatile.
It can't be for no reason. Like it can't be. Like there's got to be
reason. So I'm saying that you were asking me, do you want to? Is this a market to participate in? Well, the only way you could participate in this market really is as a trader, because you can't just buy a thing and just hold it and it's going to increase in value. You got to trade in and out, in and out, in and out. And that's why I've been very happy. Back to the well, upgrading the scripts for Sacred Profit, adding new things. I'm actually working on adding new strategies for people.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Give you a little teaser here, Peter, if you want to pull up the screen. I don't know. I thought I mentioned this like several times, but maybe I guess I didn't talk about it enough. But what do I call Saturdays for Bitcoin?
Sideways Saturdays.
Sideways Saturdays, yeah. But did I ever mention that on what usually happens on Sundays is that Bitcoin goes up?
No, you talk about Monday, that Monday Marauder, Sideways Saturday. That's it. That's all.
And reversal Mondays.
Isn't that Marauder Monday?
Marauder Monday, sorry. Yeah, Marauder Monday. Yeah, but I never really mentioned that Bitcoin usually mean reverts, not even just mean reverts, moves up on
Oh, I think you've mentioned
Sunday.
something like that, but you haven't mentioned it like a rule.
Right. I haven't mentioned it as a rule. I guess I should. So I have the strategy coming for the Sacred Profit group. 77% of the time, around 77% of the time, Bitcoin moves up more than 2% from Saturday, 6 p.m. to Sunday night. And if you just wrote those, right? I just did a symbol script here to show you, just like over here. So you have, I'll even show it to you here. So this trade here, Bitcoin's up now, right? So this is a move up of about 3.5% so far. So that is 150% on 50x leverage, right? You could double your money just for the Saturday to Sunday trade. Over here, even higher than that. So Bitcoin from where it opened to the peak over here, if you got the peak, that's 5%, right? So that's 250% gain. That's 3 times your money, more than 3 times your money on a move like that, if you can get it. And yeah, if we keep going back, you'll keep seeing this move. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it falls, and then you get stopped out at 2%. But here again, it opens up and it went all the way up to 4%, right? So that's just multiples of your money. That's again and again and again. Here, up and moved up again.
Are you taking those trades?
I mean, I do. I guess I just never really mentioned it because usually it coincides with where the daily VWAP levels are and the weekly levels are and all that sort of thing. I just never really mentioned it. But these moves happen again and again and again and again and again, where Bitcoin moves up from Saturday to Sunday. So I was like, oh, I should just turn this into a strategy for people to be able to trade. So it's going to be coming soon. It's going to be added to the Sacred Profit dashboard. I'll let you guys know when it's there. And really, I even want people to be able to automate this with services like Traders Post or with other crypto services, so you can take advantage of it.
So how do I get this when it's going to be available? I have to sign up to sacredprofit.com, or do I buy the bundle? What's going on there?
You have to sign up to sacredprofit.com. You're also going to have these 2 options. You're going to either sign up as a crypto affiliate, one of our crypto affiliate plans, and then once you have the money deposited there and you're trading a live account, then you get the indicators for free. Or you just pay for the yearly subscription. It's $500 for the year, and you get access to all our flagship scripts and indicators,
including strategies upcoming.
Yeah, strategies are starting to come. I have this one. I have another one called Cast. It's a scalping strategy. just to show that you can scalp. I want people to be able to trade on prop firms. It's really important for me. I want people to get out there, but it's very hard when you have no experience whatsoever. You get into prop firms, you don't necessarily understand all the different nuances, how much drawdown you can have, how much money you can actually make. So I want to be like, hey guys, this is a strategy you can run, and you can use it as a completely automated thing, or even just as an indicator or semi-automated, so that maybe it takes the trades for you, but you manage the exits for it, because maybe you want to take more of a profit and you want to take more of a risk. But these are the sorts of things that could uplift your life. I've been reading stories lately of people going, I had $- in my bank account. I had a job that I had a dead end job I wasn't going to get out of. My life was down on the toilets. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no upside movement. Then they get into prop firm trading, or trading in general. They got their feet under them, and all of a sudden they're making $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 in a month, and they're like, I can't believe this completely changed my life. I want people to participate in it because, look, we're part of the Holy Global Empire, and the Holy Global Empire is going to send the stock market up. Like, the stock market, the financial markets, is the lifeblood of the Holy Global Empire. And if you don't know how to navigate it, you don't know how to deal with it, you're going to be left by the sideline, because that's how they're transferring wealth from those who don't have to those who do have, through the financial system. So you have to be exposed to the financial system. You just have to be. And buying and holding, a little bit tough. You can do that, but trading gives you extra leverage. I don't know anyone, Peter, who's going from $1,000 to $50,000 because they bought and held the S&P.
Right
now, it's through trading.
Alfred Dog in the chat says, technically, Sunday is the first day of the week. It makes sense that liquidity comes in. Thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, someone was asking me this. This is what triggered the idea, because I just realized people messaging me on Sunday and they go, why is Bitcoin bouncing from here? Is the bottom in? And I'm like, wait, how many times have people asked me is the bottom in on Sunday? And I realized, oh, I haven't mentioned this. You're almost always going to get a bounce on Sunday, because you have institutions and algorithmic systems that have to cover their positions, or either they're short or they're moving long for the week or whatever it is, but they're going to enter those positions on the Monday. Now, if there's news or some event or whatever, you could have some big catalyst that happens on Friday and Sunday, totally. But absent that, asset markets drift upwards, and you can normally get these relief bounces.
Do you have a term for the Sunday move?
No, I just realized it today. I was having a conversation with my friend. I was like, oh.
The way you're describing it sounds a little bit like a de facto VWAP.
Yeah. It's not exactly a VWAP.
Yeah, I know.
It's a structural system. It's not.
Yeah, I know, but I was just thinking about the name.
Well, it is a de facto VWAP. You're right, because the price is moving towards the VWAP level.
Rewind that. Could you repeat? What did you just say? You're what? Did you say you're right? You're right. What is it that you said?
Serenity now. Right?
I think that's the first time he said it. Everybody drink. That's the first time he said, Peter, you're right. In the chat here, we have Sebastian. Howdy to you, Sebastian Daniel. Good to see you. Howdy.
Hey, Seb.
So I was thinking about it as a de facto, like just calling it like the Sunday WAP or something. Anyway, it was just an idea.
Yeah, I think the Sunday drift, I might call it a drift, because it is drifting towards the VWAP level. So I do like that. All right. Let's just hit the levels that we're looking at for this week. Then I want to end on a little something about policy, and then we'll call it a wraps for today. The levels are important, so let's take a look at that. So when we take a look at a Bitcoin, what we are expecting for the week ahead is, let me just pull this up here. All right. So we've pretty much already drifted into the weekly level. So the weekly level that we'd be targeting is around 88.6. We'll know obviously at the end of tonight, but 88.6 is the level we're aiming for. We are coming into it from underneath. What does that mean, Peter?
We come into underneath. If it hits it and comes down, then it's likely to go back up.
No. If it hits it and turns back down, you short it. If it goes above that line and comes back down on top of the line, then you long it.
Right. That was a test. You passed.
Right. So we do have the 88.6 level here. We do have a nearby daily level at 89.7, right? Because they're close by, chances are the price goes there. The bull case is that the price moves up all the way to over here, which is the $94,000 level. All right. But since we missed that level over here and we keep whiffing, these daily levels keep getting missed again and again and again. I would really only be counting on this 89.7, right? If there's a catalyst that happens and we move up, great. But I wouldn't be banking on that, especially with Marauder Monday. On Mondays, generally speaking, whatever move happens on a Monday fades for the rest of the week. This is one of the reasons why when you move up into the VWAP level, either the daily or the weekly level from underneath from Saturday, if it doesn't move with strength, you're almost certainly going to fall for the rest of that week. Right? What we have wanted to see here is the price to be coming down over here, headed into, for the bull case, falling into the weekly close, and then rising on Tuesday. That would have been the ideal in order to call for a move up. But this is just structural. This is just in general. Please take a look at your indicators and see what levels you're seeing there. For the NASDAQ, we are expecting, so right now, we are expecting the weekly level to be at 24,665. We gapped open today. So likely we're going to be moving up to this 24,665, maybe even 24,750 level. And then we have to see what's going to happen there if we're going to turn over. We do have a weekly level here at 25.4 that has not been cleared, but this is just like the Bitcoin we just saw. Last time the price went, it almost hit it and then it fell. So that's usually bearish, right? When we don't even get back up to that level and we whiff it, often it means that we're still going to go back lower and then we can revisit it when the bottom is more certain. But we don't know for sure because the option space moves the equities a lot more than other assets. For the S&P, we are really at that level. The level is at 66.57. So we're seeing that over here already. We're already there. And so there's no real trade to make here. It's even hard to say short or go long from over here because we're right at the level. We have to see how price action moves. I wouldn't really be taking any trade right now for the S&P. And finally, for the dollar is confirming its move up. It's been just walking its way up along this monthly average. And so I see no reason to believe that we don't continue with this and that we don't, on the dollar, aim for, let's see what the level is here. Yeah, aim for 101.2 on the dollar.
Oh, boy.
That's the yearly average. And because we'd be moving up in the dollar, it's a bear case for equities and for Bitcoin. That's just what it is.
Buying opportunity, buy the dip.
That's right. With the dollar, if the DX futures get up to 101.2 or whatever here, and then turns back down, that's where I'd be looking for a bottom in all these different assets and looking to go long. That's exactly where I'd be looking for it.
Tom, I have a question for you. I've been meaning to ask you this as your video editor. You say you don't make price predictions for Bitcoin. But then every week you, from my perspective, do give price predictions for Bitcoin. Now, I know you're going to be like, this is a trend signal. It's not a trade signal and yada, yada. What's the difference?
Well, I am going to start giving trade signals. The trend signal, the difference is that the trend signal is not giving you any information as to the path dependency, right? So if you give a trend, it doesn't mean that the price can get to that price level in any number of ways. It could drop 3% and then get back over there. It could rise and pull back. I'm not telling you the path that it can take. So I'm just saying, hey, this is a level that if the price moves there, that's where you might want to take profits if you're in profit. That's where you might want to enter a trade if you want to go long or short. There's just a level to pay attention to. And then the trend is telling you it's overall bullish, overall bearish, overall neutral. trade signals, which I'm going to start giving in the Take a Profit dashboard, not now, but soon, will be specific trades to take with specific stop losses and risk reward ratios and exit criteria and entry criteria. I want people to be able to take these trades at the same time as I am and profit that way, because I know a lot of people want specific things. They go, I get it. The trend you're giving me still requires me knowing a whole bunch about trading. I really need a little bit more hand holding. So we'll be doing that. And we're also going to be having a technical analysis series that's going to be coming out, so that really 101 right from the get-go, you'll be like, hey, Tom, transmit all the knowledge that you have in your head into my head of how to read the charts. And that's going to be my goal for 2026.
So predictions, what's a prediction relative to a trade or a trend signal?
Well, I look at, so some people like me I'll trade, let's say, the NASDAQ. I trade Bitcoin as well, but I'll trade the NASDAQ, and I use Bitcoin as an indicator for liquidity, because Bitcoin moves faster and more suddenly than the NASDAQ does or the S&P. And because the option space is so big in equities compared to Bitcoin, it can get noisy, whereas Bitcoin is clearer. So it's really useful for me to be like, hey, these are levels to look for. These are trends I need to pay attention to in Bitcoin. And then when I see a big move in Bitcoin, I'd be like, okay, I can expect a big move is going to happen soon in equities. So it's like a lead-in indicator for what happens in equities, especially when you're trading intraday. So if Bitcoin's falling all day long and I get a big jump up in the NASDAQ and there was no news, or maybe there was news and it jumped up and then it stalled, well, now I'm more eager to take a short from over there and hold that short for a trend and take that trade for, $1,000, $2,000, because Bitcoin is telling me that it's likely to fall. So I look at these predictions, I look at these price targets as a way of navigating, hey, if this is what's happening now, this is what price action is doing, this is what it's telling me about the markets.
So would you say you do provide price predictions, or you don't provide price predictions?
I do provide price predictions, but what I've been providing is a prediction for price, but not how it will get there. I describe multiple paths for how the price might get there. Just like I just said, if it moves in this way, then that would be bullish if it gets there that way. If it moves this way, it would be bearish if it moves and got there. It depends on the manner of your return. Lord of the Rings reference.
And other people who provide price predictions for Bitcoin, let's say, are they implying a method to the madness, like a way for it to get there?
No, most price predictions, unless I'm completely wrong, most price predictions I've seen for Bitcoin are long-term price predictions.
Oh, I see.
What'll be the high and low of the cycle? What price you're going to be taking a look at over the next several months? I find those to be very unhelpful when I'm trading 50x leverage or prop futures. I need those levels today.
Right.
And so that's what I like to focus on. So I think I provide pretty short-term price predictions. Usually the short-term stuff you see from other people are just trend. Bullish, bearish, neutral. They're not saying bullish, but this is the price level, or bearish, but it'll probably pass by this price before it goes down. I like saying that. I'd be like, hey, we're medium term bearish, but the price is likely to bounce up in the short term to this level, short from over here. I find that to be, I don't know anyone who's really as specific as that. So I think that's very helpful.
So what you just said there, that's the benefit that you're providing to people that's unique to you compared to other people. Like, that's how you stand out from the pack?
That's right. I provide paths to support you in your decision making, and I lean to one way or the other, so you're not wondering, hey, what does Tom think? And compared to other people, I don't know anyone who's as specific, other than people who are just live trading and you just watch them take their trades. Other than that, I think I am as specific, as detailed as possible, in a way that could actually help you make thousands and thousands of dollars.
Can we watch you live trade?
Yes, you can watch me live trade Tuesdays to Fridays, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at Traders Post. It's great. So you go to the Traders Post YouTube channel and you can watch me there. I will often call out the levels, even if I'm not taking the particular trade. and you get to see me make mistakes. You get to see me make gains, which is pretty cool, pretty fantastic. And you get to see these indicators live and in action, so you can see that every week.
You did something pretty fun here, and we'll get to the chat here in a second. You did something pretty fun on Traders Post on Blueprint in the last episode with an Xbox controller. You can trade with an Xbox controller. Is that on GitHub yet?
No, I'm gonna put it up soon. I made some modifications this weekend, and essentially, yeah, I just like, how do I take that muscle memory, that sweet feeling of an Xbox controller inside of my hands, and do it in such a way that I could press A and it takes a trade. I could use the triggers. I could switch between assets. I could change my take profit stop losses and just do that all by hand. And when I do it here, it sends off the signals automatically. I gotta say, it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. And I have it overlaid on my on the chart, so I see it right on the bottom of my TradingView, and I could do it live. So once I get it to the level that I want it to be, I'll be trading. I think that's how I'll trade permanently, and
Wow.
I'll be putting it'll be open source GitHub code on the Traders Post GitHub. You guys will be able to find a link to that by registering for even a free account on Traders Post. Go into the indicator section in the back end, and you'll be able to go and click and get the code and do whatever you want with it. Use your own AI in order to turn it into what you want. Maybe you're not an Xbox guy. Maybe you are a PlayStation person or a Nintendo Switch, or maybe you're a PC master race, and to you it's all about keyboard and mouse, and you just want a hotkey. You want to hotkey your keyboard. Go ahead and do it.
Before I let you go, and everybody like and subscribe, this is the channel for you. Adventurer says, I can't get over the fact that Peter was right about something and Tom admitted it live. I know, right? I totally... It happened, and you watched it live. All right.
Well, that's fun. I'll be back. I've been very much enjoying the daily breads every night from Monday to Thursday. If you guys want to find out, hey, what is happening in markets that really matter, that can move things, if you're interested in it like me, but you just don't have the time to read hours and hours and hours and hours of treasury market data and auctions information,
Sounds like
and
fun.
China liquidity reports, and what the Fed governors are saying, you don't want to go through all that, come to Daily Bread. I'll give you the 10-15 minutes that you need to hear every night. So listen to it at night. I do a live stream or watch it in the mornings. It's fun. People are loving it. It's actually becoming one of the more popular shows on Sacred Profit. And by the end of the week, I go, God, I've learned so much. God, I've learned so much.
Shout out to everybody in the chat: Aventura Trader, Alfred Dog, Sebastian, Samantha. I hope I didn't miss anybody there, but y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. It makes the show a lot more fun when you're there. So thank you.
All right, Peter.
Yeah,
I sort of liked you today.
You sort of liked me.
It's
Well,
nice to leave. Yeah, it's nice to leave on a good note. All right, have a great night, folks, and we'll see you on Daily Bread tomorrow.